Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel here. Today I am taking a look at Facebook Marketplace. Now, I don't have a Facebook account, so I've never actually been on this in the last 4 years. So it's kind of interesting to see that it pretty much still just looks the same. But I thought I would just take a look. Now, these ads are going to be in dollars because I did make the location just USA. So I just wanted to have a good look at what secondhand PCs go for and whether there's good value to be found in them. And this is as secondhand as it gets because, you can go to Java, you can go to eBay or Amazon, but this is pure secondhand. This is just put my PC up for sale and sell it myself. So this is the purest form of secondhand Facebook Marketplace. So with that said, let's take a look at some of these and see if there's any value to be had in these PCs. Let's do it. Okay, first up I'm going to go for the first one here. This is just a white chassis with a red dragon sticker on it. So this is a Ryzen 5 2600, a 1660, 500 gigabyte SSD, 16 gigs of RAM, and it is about 4 years old. It's a little bit dirty, you can see at the top there. It's quite a basic build, sort of like a 1080p budget build at this point in time. This is a 6-core CPU, and the 1660 has 6 gigs of VRAM. 500 gig SSD isn't too bad. You can fit a few games on there, and 16 gigs RAM. This will be DDR4. Not too bad. Not the best pictures, and obviously no benchmarks, but I know more or less how this PC will perform, and it would be good for 1080p medium to high settings gaming. So it's not too bad, and I think this could have been cleaned before. You can see the dust on there, but apart from that, the price is $400. Now if we think about that for a second, what does a motherboard with a 2600 Ryzen 5, 16 gigs of RAM, and a motherboard goes for about $100, maybe a little bit more. Let's say $120, $130. A 1660 goes for about $130. This is now in South Africa, but I'm just thinking more or less. So you can build this yourself for around 350 if you use just secondhand parts. So it's not bad, adding an extra 50. But I mean, if he had gone through the effort of just cleaning this up, I would feel a lot better. But it does look like these fans are RGB at least, which helps. So I wouldn't say this is a bad value, but I think you can match this value pretty easily yourself. Okay, let's take a look at something else. This is a $100 HP Omen PC. i5 7400, 8 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte HDD. A budget GPU it looks like. This is not bad, to be honest. $100 for something with a... I do think the 7400 is only a quad-core CPU. But $100, if you add a graphics card for another $100 and a SSD and 8 gigs more RAM, let's say you'll spend another $150. You'll have a decent gaming computer for $250. So I'm going to call this one a good deal. It's a pretty good deal. Let's look at something expensive. $2,000 for a 4080 combo. Okay. So we have the 4080 FE card here. We have the, I'm not sure what case this is, the DAN A4 H20 mini ITX case. And we have a H100 iCPU cooler from Corsair, that's quite good. 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM. What CPU? Doesn't even say the CPU. That's a little bit strange. This leads me to think that... Can we see the motherboard in there? Yeah, these photos are terrible. Like, you can't see anything. So yeah, this deal looks a bit strange to me. It doesn't say what CPU it is, doesn't say what motherboard it is. And yeah, just basically says what graphics card it is and the RAM. It doesn't say the speed of the RAM. I would avoid this and posts like this. It just doesn't look good. You can see the speed of the RAM here, but still, I mean, it doesn't take much to just say it on the... Oh, got a fright, holy. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, got a bit of a fright there. So yeah, this one I would stay away from deals that look like this. It's just, if it doesn't have details, you need to ask yourself, why doesn't it have details? So let's look at this one. And right off the bat, you can see there's a lot more detail. So this is this is a Ryzen 5 1600, which is also a 6-core CPU, using some leftover parts. Stress test, RGB controller for the fans, that's good, that's nice. A 1080, which is an 8GB card. A B350M mortar, Arctic, so it's the white version. A 16 gigs Vengeance RAM, 2 sticks of 8 gigs at 3000 megahertz. 750 watt EVGA power supply, it's pretty good. A 1 terabyte PCIe NVMe 4th gen. I'm not sure if 4th gen was even out then, but okay. A DIY PC ARGB case, and then just the stock rave cooler, and just some more detail. So this is a lot of detail, which is pretty good, and it gives you a breakdown of the price as he sees it. So the price right off the bat is very high, I'll just be honest. It does look nice, and this is clean, and a lot of fans, which is good as well. But for the age of the components, the price is just very high, because $600 you can build a new gaming PC for, and it'll perform close to this. It won't be as raw powerful as the 1080, but with upscaling and stuff, it'll perform probably better. So really good looking system, but the price doesn't make sense to me. It's just too much. So yeah, good looking system, but not worth the money, unfortunately. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Let's go for this one. $350. Mobo, not sure. That's never good. 16 gigs of RAM. A i7 6700K. I think that's a 6-core CPU. A 250 gig SSD card. So I guess he means NVMe. A 1660. And that's all the detail we get. So at least we know what the CPU is in this one, and the price isn't ridiculous. It's quite a cool looking case, NZXT case. The photos are terrible, but yeah, just judging from this, not a bad price, not a great price, sort of middle of the road. You can probably build this yourself for a little bit cheaper, or more or less the same, but not terrible, not too bad. Okay, let's take a look at one last one. Let's go for like a really cheap one. How about this one? This doesn't say anything. Has second 900 gigabyte available storage. That doesn't mean anything. Missing graphics card. So if you buy this, it's a gamble. If I were in the USA, this is probably a gamble I would take, because the power supply, the case, the motherboard, the CPU fan, the RAM, I think there's RAM. Yeah, it looks like it. I think you'd easily get your money back. So I think this would be sort of like a chance worth taking. And if everything works, you can just add like a 1660 to it, and you'll probably be able to sell it for 3 times as much. So yeah, I would buy this, clean it up. But if you're not someone that does that kind of thing, if you just want a PC to game with, obviously this isn't it. But for the price, this seems decent. This is just someone that wants to get rid of an old PC and probably just remove the graphics card. So not too bad. So yeah, that's going to be about it for the video. There's a lot of different things you can take a look at, like monitors, old Macs, very expensive builds, very cheap builds. So yeah, I think like any store, there is value to be had. You just need to know where to look and you need to know what to avoid. So hopefully this video helps a little bit with that. Sometimes a picture just screams no, it just doesn't seem trustworthy. But like I said, there is some value to be had here, and there's a lot of parts that you can just pick up and add something to it and clean it up and sell it for a lot more. So yeah, with that said, thank you for watching. I think Facebook Marketplace is interesting. In South Africa, I don't do Facebook Marketplace because it's so dangerous to meet people here, but I'm sure in certain parts of America it's a lot better. So yeah, with that said, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the content. I'm trying something a little bit different, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.